What's up everybody, another beautiful day in the Dragon House, and today I'll be going over how to master storm builds. So let's get into it. Now the most common mistake a lot of enhancement shamans make is simply not pressing Stormstrike enough, both on AoE but especially on single target. And this is true for M+ as well as raids. I'd assume for PvP, but I never tread there. Do I look like I have skills? There are so many things that happens whenever you press Stormstrike, and it fuels the entire rotation and ultimately how much damage you do. Now Stormstrike itself might not be a major contributor to our overall damage on a damage meter, but every Stormstrike can proc Wind Fury, generates Maelstrom, which lowers Feral Spirit cooldown, and each Stormbringer reset increases Stormstrike damage even more via Storm Blast. And most importantly, each Stormstrike has a chance to proc Ascendance, which is especially important in raids on single target, where the amount of Ascendance procs you get is the difference between sad mode and Chad mode. And how do we achieve this? Well, let's take a look at a pure single target fight like Rashuk and Abras. The rotation in its simplest form. Use cooldowns on cooldown. These are Feral Spirit, Doomwinds, and Sundering to trigger our tier bonuses. And if all of these are on cooldown, you press Stormstrike. If Stormstrike is on cooldown, then you spend Maelstrom to reset its cooldown, and then you press it again. Can't do any of that? Press Ice Strikes and whatever else might be available. Earth Shield. So what this means is, and listen closely, because this is some big brain knowledge and my personal mantra. You press Stormstrike. If you're able to Stormstrike after Stormstriking, you Stormstrike. If you're at 10 Maelstrom, you still spam Stormstrike. If you're at 2 charges of Elemental Blast, you still spam Stormstrike. If your kitchen is on fire, you still spam Stormstrike. And if your partner leaves you because all you do is spam that damn Stormstrike button, well, you still spam Stormstrike. Screw that. Now if Ascendance procs, replace the word Stormstrike with Windstrike. Now it might feel counterintuitive and flat out wrong to overcap on all resources, Elemental Blast, Maelstrom, and just degen spam that glorious Stormstrike button, but it really is the way to go.
This is the way.
At least unless Bliss gives us one additional Stormstrike charge. Now this is true for M+ single target bosses as well. Only difference is you often don't run Elemental Blast, but that doesn't really matter. You still spam the ever-living out of Stormstrike. Now going over to AoE and cleave, apart from playing a few different talents, it still revolves a lot around Stormstrike and breaking the AoE rotation down in its simplest form. Use Feral Spirit on cooldown. If you're at 10 Maelstrom, press Chain Lightning. If Crash Lightning buff isn't up, press Crash Lightning. Otherwise, Stormstrike and keep Stormstriking. Can't Stormstrike? Spend Maelstrom at 5. Otherwise, press Crash Lightning. So most of the time you're just alternating between Chain Lightning and Stormstrike, and a few Crash Lightning sprinkled into the mix. But the bread and butter, Chain Lightning, Stormstrike. We generate an ungodly amount of Maelstrom on AoE, and anytime you Stormstrike with Crash buff up, you deal nature damage to everything, which can in itself generate Maelstrom, proc Wind Fury, and Stormbringer, which resets Stormstrikes. And it also deals a fair bit of uncapped AoE damage as well. Not to mention it can proc Ascendance, which not only makes your damage go a bit nuts, but it also gives you this warm, fuzzy feeling inside. Is this love? Now the above rotation is true 95% of the time. Only time it's not is during Doomwinds, as you want to spam out as many Crash Lightnings as possible, since it will trigger Wind Fury on everything. So during that, you'll pretty much alternate between Chain Lightning, Crash Lightning. Can't do either Stormstrike, because Chain Lightning will lower the cooldown of and increase the damage of Crash Lightning, but it's mostly the cooldown reduction you want. And if possible, you also want to squeeze in Sundering during Doomwinds. Now hopefully this helps clear up some misconceptions about the rotation and its complexity. Stormstrike! And if you want more in-depth info about the Storm builds, I have guides out for both Raid and M+ Storm slapping, going over everything you'd ever need to know about them and how the talents and everything works. Now kids, what do we say when someone suggests pressing something other than Stormstrike? Let me know in the comments, and only wrong answers, please. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Storm for Dummies. Training dummies. Don't forget the usual stuff. Comment, like, subscribe, and make sure to slap that notification bell. And if you want to help support my work, do check out my Patreon. As a patron, you get access to the Stankie Discord, but you can also get shoutouts and videos, among other things. Now, I also stream progression and testing on Twitch, Stankie Gaming. Feel free to hop on by and spam me with questions. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you all, and I will see you next time.